April showers in the month of May. The ground's still wet and the sky's still gray, but you're still shining. No cadences or chords to play, no melodies or words to say, but you're still singing, and it keeps me breathing. When I fall apart into a million pieces, when I don't know where to start, you put me back together. You put me back together again. When the waters rise and the levee breaks, through your tear-filled eyes and your hands that shake, darling, I'll be steady when you're at the end of your tired rope, when you're feeling trapped and just need to go, darling, I'll put you back together again. I'll put you back together. I'll put you back together again. When I fall apart into a million pieces, when I don't know where to start, when I forget where my peace is, when you fall apart into a million pieces, and you don't know where to start, I'll put you back together. I'll put you back together again. You put me back together. You put me back together again.
Have you seen Sam? Have you seen Sam in the last few minutes?
Oh, sorry. Oh, she would. Yeah, we both like it, so. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
When nights were only just falling for you, when things were easy, your love the only thing I still can feel. The way you moved me could dance for hours just
So this is for signing. So we need to play all the way straight through.
every shadow had overcome us. My golden sun was your understanding. Please keep
March 27th. And then to the end.
She's watching back in the She's watching the live stream, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yep.
last at the moment. Actually, first of all, can I just check Robert? Yeah, yeah. I'll ask you to stand up. If you want, you can turn and face each other at that point.
That sounds good.
And sort of your hands off, you will obviously be facing each other, but maybe the handiest thing to do is if you put say, your hand there and like you turn off, so that kind of format. Because you're going to be tied together, we might as well do the bows, which is facing each other, and then I'll pull the little cords and get you through
Okay,
the rings. So that's very interesting. But obviously, one of you needs to take the lead with facing each other, so
Okay.
I'm giving you the information. Yep. Good. Now you seem very relaxed.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I can't see your face, but you seem
Probably,
very chilled.
yeah.
You seem very chilled.
Yeah, like if I try and run to my head, everything's gone.
It is though.
Yeah. So
Like I said to you on whenever we spoke during the week, honestly, the goal is actually minimal. You'll actually be listening to your friends talking, or Becky's mother's actually listening. What's your mother?
so my grandmother's been pre-recorded again. Sam is stepmom. And John is a stepdad. That's why we're involved in this into that way. His name is our friend.
Essentially, you're going to be listening to music. Yeah, be listening to readings, people saying nice things about love and marriage. Yeah, and you're going to listen to me. And not to be nervous about it all, just sit there and enjoy it.
Yep. Oh, sounds good. Yep. Yep.
So Sam is yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, in about 5 years' time. That's going into the wine box.
Yeah. Is it special? Well, I'm not sure how special it is really, but
Oh, we organise all sorts. Yeah. Oh, so this is one seal that we're going to do. This seal that's in the box. Not far off. That kind of cool.
So it's all going to be bar nine. Bar nine. One, so I'll try from the beginning. Try from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Into thought line, wings on butterflies.
How you doing?
Oh, I
I
think
actually
we
love
should
this
get
part,
ready.
yeah.
The door's closed. Can't help it. It's the first one. Part 5. Do slightly slower so that we don't have to repeat. Nice, it's lovely that we get flowers on top.
So he messaged me this morning, but that was about. It was just like a good morning, good luck today kind of message. Yeah. Yeah, it's good under the lighting, all right, yeah.
A little bit more.
When all is said and done, I wanna say that I lived a good one, that we lived a good one. All that's underneath and all the beauty of our grief is something true. We hide broken beliefs and we're taping paper wings to make it through. Looking for something to hold on to. Through it all, oh, in the end, we remember how we loved the ones who got close enough to hold their hearts in our hands. When all is said and done, I wanna say
Look up at the
How are you doing?
birds are
I know
singing,
it's terrible, isn't it?
songs that make me think of when we were young and didn't care.
I get out of the way of the
Man,
photograph.
those were
How are you?
the
You look
days.
fantastic.
How
Very relaxed as well,
we
actually.
get so far from that place. All the happy promises we made and couldn't keep. Wonder why we didn't stay. I know this ain't easy, but we're both gonna make it through. You have to believe me, 'cause I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. We can look back and move forward. We've got to make so much more of the moments here and now. Tomorrow's a new day, and I know this ain't easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention for a moment, please? My name's Eamon Murphy. I'm a humanist wedding celebrant. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to Castleknock today for what is, it goes without saying, a very special day for Fritz and Becky. Also, a very special day for all of you as well. We have what is a great rarity in this line of work. We have a bride who not just was on time, but was ready to go about half an hour ago. You gotta love that kind of enthusiasm being brought to the occasion. And then I look at Fritz all dolled up, and I can kind of see why she's so keen to get down here. I don't want to keep them waiting much longer out there. As I say, it's a very special day for them. We're going to talk a little bit more about them, about their love for each other, about what's actually happening on this occasion later on in the ceremony. Just for now, could I just ask you to make sure your phones are set to silent? And without further ado, could you all please stand, and we'll welcome the bridal party. So, herzlich willkommen, liebe Familie und Freunde von Fritz und Becky an diesem besonderen Tag. Heute feiern wir das Beste von dem, was es bedeutet, Mensch zu sein. Heute feiern wir die Liebe. Now, for those of you who don't speak German, mightn't have understood what I just said there. I wouldn't worry too much. because judging by the looks on the faces of our German guests today, they didn't understand very much of it either. But essentially what I'm trying to communicate is that you're all very welcome to Castleknock today for what is a celebration of the very best aspects of what makes us all human. Specifically today, love, and particularly the love that the two people sitting in front of me, now looking extraordinarily relaxed, it must be said, share for each other. It's a celebration of other things as well, friendship and family. I think given that, you know, it's been a very difficult year and a half or so for everybody, we all know why. Days like today are kind of a step back on the road to normality, and one of the best aspects of that kind of normality is going to be the ability to gather with your friends and family and celebrate really important milestones in the lives of people who mean a lot to you. Today would obviously be a very special day, even if it was just Fritz, Becky and myself here. I'm sure they'd love that. But obviously the occasion is made a lot more special for the presence of so many of their friends and family. It's an opportunity as well, I think, for us to reflect on the extent to which all of you have helped them get here today. I mean, it goes without saying that so much of what makes them unique as people and therefore makes their relationship great has stemmed from contributions you've made in their lives, whether that's through the friendship you've shown them, through the love, obviously in the case of parents and older family members, the support and guidance as well that you've given them. It goes without saying that they're delighted to have so many of you here, not just in the room today, but also tuning in online from all over the world, really. Everywhere from Australia and the USA to Portugal, Italy, Denmark, and of course as well in Germany. And a particularly big welcome as well to Fritz's grandparents in Germany. I'm not sure which camera is actually on me right now, but Eva and Rainer, ein herzliches Willkommen von allen here in Dublin. As I said at the beginning, I'm a humanist wedding celebrant, which of course makes this a humanist wedding ceremony. For those of you not familiar with humanism, it's a very simple philosophy. The aim is it's based on a concern for humanity and the natural world. The aim is to combine reason and compassion. And, you know, I think probably the main thing to focus on is that regardless of whether we're celebrating occasions like this in a humanist way like today or in another fashion that you might be more used to, you know, the important thing to remember is that there's very few occasions more worth celebrating than one like this. You've got two people who've been, you know, first of all, lucky enough to find one another, wise enough to eventually realise that good fortune, and now, you know, 10 years later, are now brave enough to stand up in front of a room full of their friends and family, as Fritz and Becky are going to do in about 15 minutes' time, and to commit to spending the rest of their lives together. Regardless of whether you've attended a humanist ceremony before, I think you'll find today's ceremony is going to take a fairly recognisable and generally traditional format. We're going to have a little bit more music. We're going to have contributions through readings from some of the people who mean the most to the happy couple. We'll have a few more attempts at reviving my Leaving Cert German from myself. We'll have, of course, the exchange of vows and rings in the traditional way, and of course the signing of the marriage registration form, which will make everything today official. We're going to begin, though, with something that's a little bit different to what most of you are used to at weddings. So some of you, or most of you in fact, will have seen the sign on the way in the door asking you to write some notes, some well wishes for Becky and Fritz over the next several decades of their lives together on a piece of paper, and they're going to be placed into this lovely wooden box along with a bottle of champagne to be opened in, is it 5 years' time? Yeah. Lovely stuff. So they're actually going to now close that box with the bottle of champagne, and they're going to seal it with this lovely wax seal that they've gotten especially for the occasion. So, guys, you want to come up and do that? Yeah. I hope you know how this works. obviously a very important part of any wedding, regardless of how it's celebrated, is the inclusion of some of the people who mean the most to the bride and groom. In this case, we're going to now have a contribution in the form of a reading. It's going to be an excerpt from The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, and Becky's stepmom, Sam, is going to come up and read this for us.
We love what we love. Reason does not enter into it. In many ways, unwise love is the truest love. Anyone can love a thing because that's as easy as putting a penny in your pocket. But to love something despite, to know the flaws, and to love them too, that is rare and pure and perfect.
Thanks very much, Sam. So now we actually have a very special contribution. It's from Fritz's grandmother in Germany, and the hotel have arranged for us to hook up with a little pre-recorded message that she's going to give Becky and Fritz for the day. So hopefully tech doesn't fail us.
Liebe Becky, lieber Fritz, aus Langenargen ganz herzliche Glückwünsche zu eurer Hochzeit. Wo lieben sich zwei Herzen einen, nur eins zu sein in Freud und Leid, da muss des Himmels Sonne scheinen und heiter lächeln alle Zeit. Viele liebe Grüße, eure Eva und Rainer. So, und jetzt trinken wir uns. Vom Ostlose.
I had a small bit scripted here to talk about the importance of marriage and all of that sort of thing. Actually, I might leave some of that to the side for a second and just kind of reflect on the words that Sam talked about there. I had a read through the reading there yesterday evening, and I just think it's really, well, it's perfect, as you concluded by saying. I mean, to love something despite, to know the flaws in something. I'm not necessarily saying that these two people are any more flawed than any other human beings, but I think the sentiment is obviously, it suits the occasion really, to know the flaws in something and to love them as well. Not in spite of even, but because of. It's something that's very rare and pure and perfect. I mean, having met Fritz and Becky to discuss the format of the ceremony, the content, it's very clear to me from the start that they, apart from being very well matched, are doing it all for the right reasons as well and have the right kind of attitude towards the whole occasion. One of the things that I kind of occasionally will refer to in these occasions is to focus on the fact that, a lot of us will have attended a lot of weddings over the years. Now, you're a very young crowd, so maybe you haven't attended nearly as many as some other people. But, it can be something that you can take for granted after being to a few of them, what's actually happening on an occasion like this. So just from that point of view, I think it's worth pausing for a few seconds and thinking about what's about to happen now in about maybe 5 minutes' time. You've got one of your friends and family sitting here next to the person who they hold most dear, and it's about to commit to spending the rest of their lives with that person. I mean, that's just something very much outside the ordinary parts of day-to-day life. It's something very beautiful, very special. Es ist wichtig, sich daran zu erinnern, dass das, was heute passiert, etwas ganz Besonderes ist. Einer eurer Freunde oder Familie sitzt hier vor der Person, die sie lieben, und sie versprechen sich, den Rest ihres Lebens miteinander zu teilen. Es ist etwas Wunderbares. We're joining together today two people who have decided quite some time ago, I think, that this isn't just somebody that they wish to spend the rest of their lives with, but at this point, kind of somebody that they can't really imagine life without. I think one of the great joys in life is when what can seem like a very random meeting of two people can end up, unbeknownst to ourselves at the time, kind of kick-starting a journey that will not conclude something like this today, because this is only one step on a longer road, but can end up today with the union of these two people as husband and wife. As most of you know, this particular journey began in Becky's first week of college, Fritz being a year older. They had the benefit of getting to know each other as friends for the first year and a bit or so, which I can tell you from experience is a great thing to be able to do. And then, because they were at such close quarters in college, the kind of, I don't want to call it the courtship, it's very formal, isn't it? But it involved a bit of, you know, the cuteness of the hand-holding in the matsock room, and Fritz being a gentleman walking her to the bus every evening, as you would all expect, I'm sure. Like, after just a few months together and one summer of only seeing each other on weekends, they decided, you know, already the time was right to actually move in together. That was almost a decade ago. They're still living together today. Being with somebody from such a young age means you get to share an awful lot of the early life milestones with that same person. Past exams, I'm sure driving tests, 4 graduations with a 5th, I'm sure, very on the way very soon, Becky. Some job moves, a huge amount of travel by the sounds of it, and even more concerts and plays and gigs. I mean, as I said earlier, they're very well matched. They've got an awful lot in common, but like in some ways it's kind of a case of, I think, of opposites attract. I should look at them. But you know, I've usually found that, you know, the saying that opposites attract is usually just it's a way of saying, another way of saying sometimes that they have the right balance in the relationship. You know, Becky tells me she's very stubborn, gets very easily stressed. Fritz, on the other hand, is a lot more relaxed. Becky's very organised and remembers things. Fritz, maybe less so. Fritz is definitely the more domestically inclined one, and Becky admitted to me she might have starved in the last 10 years or so if it hadn't been for him. And you know, I've only known them briefly, but you know, like I said, they've obviously got an awful lot in common. They complement each other well, and most importantly, they support each other very well as well. Fritz admitted to me that he probably wouldn't have done his PhD if he hadn't gotten the encouragement from Becky, and obviously then more important than the PhD, if it wasn't for Becky, he wouldn't have gotten horse riding either. Like, in short, like they're a great match, and today is an opportunity to celebrate that, and for them to make a statement both to each other and themselves, to all of you as well, that, you know, in each other they found such love, such friendship, such support, that, you know, this is what they want to share together for the rest of their lives. In the words of George Eliot, what greater thing is there for 2 human souls than to feel that they are joined together, to strengthen each other in all labour, to minister to each other in all sorrow, to share with each other in all gladness, and to be one with each other in silent, unspoken memories. So we're going to have another contribution now from Sinead, and she's going to come up now and she's going to read an excerpt from The Amber Spyglass.
I will love you forever, whatever happens, till I die and after I die, and when I find my way out of the land of the dead, I'll drift about forever, all my atoms, till I find you again. I'll be looking for you every moment, every single moment, and when we do find each other again, we'll cling together so tight that nothing and no one will ever tear us apart. Every atom of me and every atom of you will live in birds and flowers and dragonflies, and pine trees and in clouds and in those little specks of light you see floating in sunbeams. And when they use our atoms to make new lives, they'll have to take 2. One of you and one of me will be joined so tight.
Okay. Wir kommen nun zum wichtigsten Teil der heute Zeremonie, wo Fritz und Becky in Anwesenheit von euch allen ihre Ehe besiegeln werden. So basically that's a fancy way of saying that we've come to the most important part of today's ceremony. We'll be asking Fritz and Becky now to speak the words which, in the presence of all of you gathered here today, will seal their union. Now, before we come to the vows, I'm legally obliged to ask the two of them if they know of any legal impediment to the marriage. So, Becky and Fritz, could you please stand? So, Friedrich, do you know of any impediment to your marriage to Rebecca?
I do not know of any impediment to my marriage to Rebecca.
And Rebecca, do you know of any impediment to your marriage to Friedrich?
I do not know of any impediment of my marriage to Friedrich.
Those were the correct answers. Fritz and Becky have asked to take part today in a Celtic hand fasting ritual. So back under Celtic law, maybe 1500, 2000 years ago, the point in the marriage ceremony at which the couple were legally married was the point at which their hands were bound together with a piece of rope or string or whatever they happened to be using at the time. Today we use ribbons or cords. And this particular ritual is said to be the origin of the term to tie the knot. So I'm delighted that Paul and Lottie have volunteered to help out with this process.
Voluntold.
Now join your hands, and with your hands your heart. These are the hands of your best friend, young, strong, and vibrant with love, that are holding yours on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other all the days of your lives. These are the hands that will passionately work alongside yours, I beg your pardon, and together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch, comfort you like no other. These are the hands that will countless times wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow, tears of joy. These are the hands that will comfort you in illness and console you when you're grieving. These are the hands that will hold your children in tender love, soothing them through illness and hurts, supporting and encouraging them along the way, and knowing when it's time to let go. And lastly, these are the hands that, even when wrinkled and aged, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. So, ladies and gentlemen, Fritz and Becky's hands have now been bound together, just as their declarations will bind them. So do you, Friedrich Dunn, take Rebecca Fritz to be your wife, to share a relationship of love, tenderness and laughter, to confide in and trust above all others, to respect her and stand by her in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and cherish her?
I do.
And do you, Rebecca Fritz, take Friedrich Dunn to be your husband, to share a relationship of love, tenderness and laughter, to confide in and trust above all others, to respect him and stand by him in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and cherish him?
I do.
Now, for thousands of years, lovers have exchanged rings as symbols of the commitments that they're making to each other, and as reminders as well of their responsibilities to honour their promises. So, Rob, I believe you've been entrusted with getting the rings here. Very good. Would you mind just pulling on the cord there for the two of them to separate? Perfect. Lovely. Now, Fritz, take Becky's ring and place it on her finger, and repeat after me. I, Fritz, take you, Becky, to be my wife.
I, Fritz, take you, Becky, to be my wife.
And with this ring, I marry you.
With this ring, I marry you.
And join my life to yours.
And join my life to yours.
And Becky, take Fritz's ring, place it on his finger, and repeat after me. I, Becky, take you, Fritz, to be my husband.
I, Becky, take you, Fritz, to be my husband.
And with this ring, I marry you.
And with this ring, I marry you.
And join my life to yours.
And join my life to yours.
So, guys, we've had the legal impediment question. You've freely consented to join your lives together with your vows. You've pledged yourselves to each other and sealed your, sealed your vows with these rings. Therefore, it gives me great pleasure, in the presence of all of you gathered here today, to pronounce Becky and Fritz husband and wife. You may kiss. We're just going to take a few moments now to sign the marriage registration form. Can I ask Robert and Maurice to please come up as witnesses? Yeah, you can come around here.
So I come right this way.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had the legal impediment question, the exchange of vows, the exchange of rings, and now following the signing of the registration form, you are officially looking at a newly married couple. I think they deserve another big round of applause. You did it. That's amazing. And I think another round of applause is also deserved as well for Secret Sounds, who've been playing the music for the ceremony. They've been beautiful. Before we conclude the ceremony, we're going to have one final contribution from one of the people closest to Fritz and Becky. So Becky's stepdad, John, is going to come up and he's going to do a reading by an unnamed author, I believe.
Love isn't always perfect. It isn't a fairy tale or a story. It doesn't always come easy. Love is overcoming obstacles, facing challenges, fighting to be together, holding on and never letting go. It's a short word, easy to spell, difficult to define, and impossible to live without. Love is work, but most of all, love is realising that every hour, every minute, every second was worth it because you did it together. And as a surprise to you guys, I'm going to add one line from my favourite musician of all time. I was lying in the bed last night looking at a concert. One line, accroche toi à ton rêve, hold on tight to your dreams.
Okay, and I'm not going to find a better way of concluding the ceremony than that. Thanks very much, John. I suppose there's very little more to say. First of all, congratulations, the two of you.
Thank you.
Just to wish you well, I guess, first of all, for the rest of the evening. I think you're going to have a wonderful time here. There's a lot of people here who've been locked up for a long time. I have to make sure that you have a very memorable day. I think just when you are looking back on this occasion, and of course you'll remember the fantastic night you have. And it's an opportunity as well, I suppose, for everybody here to not only make sure that Becky and Fritz have a great night, but also an opportunity for you to let them all, for you to let them know how much they mean to you and how happy you are for them this occasion. But I guess when you're looking back on today, when you're not thinking about the evening as well, think about the ceremony, particularly, I guess, the words that you've chosen to include yourselves in those readings, the words that you've spoken to each other on the occasion, the emotions that you feel, of course, and the rings as well, which symbolise the meaning of the occasion. And I'm sure it's a wish of everybody here that your love for each other will continue to grow over the years, and basically that you remain as you very clearly are now, which is very much in love with each other and happy to be married to one another. So, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you to please stand one more time and congratulate Becky and Fritz. Out of the way. Can we walk out? You guys can follow them out as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Feeling okay? Feeling good?
Very good. Yes. Cheers. Oh. Yeah. Straight out to the garden sounds good. Yeah. That was brilliant. Thanks, man. That's lovely. Who's your favourite?
I think we set up under the stairs outside.
My heart's on solid ground, 'cause I knew from the first time you put your hand in mine. There's no one else I will belong to, and you'll be forever mine. I'll be right here next to you, as long as the world keeps spinning around. Let the skies turn black and blue. No matter what comes, I won't ever let you down. Far, far as the ocean goes, and strong, strong as the tide.